Mikel, look what you've done. Look at all the people you've made happy. Does it just mean the most to, obviously you have your own joy, but what you've done for other people must mean an immense amount?
That's the biggest joy of all. I think when you see that amount of people that happy in that many countries, and happening that organically after so many years, it was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? I wouldn't usually recommend flicking through social media, but in this day and age, you can capture it from so many different angles. You see the players, and then you see the Emirates, and then you see lovely stories from ex-players or like supporters who have lost loved ones, and you really, all of it is captured in a lovely way.
Yeah, I think the technology just to go through what we've lived in 48 hours and try to sum it up and try to capture those moments is a great tool, and it's been really useful.
Is there something you've seen that really kind of tugged on the heartstrings or really brought it home to you, what it means to everyone?
Well, especially what happened at the Emirates with our supporters. I couldn't believe it. How fast it happened, how organically, and how much energy and relief and joy was involved in that celebration.
And I remember talking to you in the past about like how much you enjoy being a manager, almost more than a player, because you have that power. I mean, what other job has that pressure, but in these moments, that sort of privilege, that honour of like you're the guys orchestrated. You've given this to these people.
I think when it happens, it's magical, and I think it gives sense to everything that you go through in the process of winning something big for the club. And I would have done it again, 100%.
Talk us through your Tuesday, or certainly the end part of it then, because you weren't here.
So after Burnley, Martin comes to me and said, "Boss, I think we should watch the game together, and I think you and the staff should be there with us. That's the way we want to do it." I said, "Yes, if you want to do it that way, let's do it that way. It's your moment." So we trained a bit later. That was planned to start at 7:30. I think 15 minutes before that, I went upstairs in the restaurant. Everything was set up. And my energy wasn't right.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I had a feeling that if they're going to be watching it, they're going to be playing for every ball. And if I'm there, I think it's going to be different. And the style will be different. So I went downstairs and said, "Martin, I'm really sorry. I'm going to go home. I think it's the right thing to do. So if the magic happens, I will see you straight away." So I went home. The game started. I didn't know anything about it. I was driving in the car, half an hour, go home.
This is during the game, is it? No radio on?
No, nothing. Just music and drive and I go home, open the door, and my kids and Lorena were watching the game in the living room. Just open the door. "I'm here. See you after the game." And I close it. I went straight to the garden. I started to build some fire in the chimney, started to get the barbecue ready. I had Gabby and another member of the staff with me. And I think it was the longest hour and a half of my life. And I was hearing things from the living room, from some of the neighbors.
So you know the game's live. You know that City aren't 3-0 up or whatever.
No, but I could not figure out what was happening. And then suddenly my oldest son opens the door, and I see him coming. He's in tears, starts to run towards me. He jumps on me and said, "We are the Premier League winners." And 2 seconds later, my other two boys come in with my wife, start to hug me, and we all started to cry. It was so emotional.
What a moment! What a moment! Did you feel like it was perfect? I mean, you'd never have imagined kind of winning the league like that, cooking a barbecue, stood by yourself, but
it was the way that I think it had to happen. And if I wanted to be closer to somebody, it was my kids and my wife first. And a minute later, Martin is on the video call, just going through all the players. "Where are you? You have to be here. Where are you? Where are you?" And I said, "Don't worry, guys. Enjoy for a while and see you tonight." So 2 hours later, we went to central London all together, and it was incredible.
Can I just ask, since you mentioned, and obviously you were with your boys and you were with your wife, what did it mean to them? Because I guess even the players and the people around the training ground don't really see you vulnerable. I would guess you can't really show that side. So they're obviously the people closest to you. They see another side. So what did it mean to them?
I think it's the moment that I realized how much it means to them, and it was their way of saying that we know what this means to you. And I think especially for my wife, because I think she is the person and the reason why I have kept my composure. I think my self-confidence, I would say my energy at the level that it was required to do what we've done for the last 6.5 years. And she needs to understand that that place is for her, and without her, none of that would have happened, that's for sure.
Yeah, because you talked in your press conference about, not 100% being sure, can I lead this club to a major trophy? Is she the person who convinced you that the answer to that was yes?
It was part of that sometimes, but as well I'm that demanding with myself that the first instinct is always, maybe I'm not good enough to do this, or I'm not the right person, or what they need. The only thing that they are missing is somebody else with a different message, and they will get over the line. But at the same time, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to show the values that I've been taught since I was little, which is perseverance, which is resilience, to never give up, to understand the reasons why even doing your best you cannot reach maybe a goal because somebody else can be better, has better resources, learn from the past and mistakes, but especially, I always said it, nobody's got a bigger passion for this game than I do. So when do you have to show it? When the question mark is on. And the joy that I feel now and how proud I am in the manner that we've done it, I think nobody can take that away from me now.
And I think so many people in all walks of life will be able to relate to how you're talking about your wife, because having someone who believes in you that much, who loves you that much, that is life, right? That it just means everything.
Yes, but sometimes we take that for granted. And in any condition and any circumstance, to have a person that is next to you is the biggest thing that you have in your life. And she's done something that honestly, I think you can apply to anything. Our job can be a roller coaster. It can be a storm, it can be a beautiful day. But you open my door at home and it's every day exactly the same. And there is happiness, there is joy, there is respect, and there is that sense that have you done everything that you could? That's fine. And you draw, you lose, or you win, you won't notice any difference, and that's something incredible to build, I think.
Yeah, and I don't imagine you're that easy at home when you've lost Mikel, to be honest.
No, but that's why they have to be so understanding sometimes, and it's not fair on them, and it's not fair on what they deserve. But when I looked at them, the first thing that my middle one said, it was, "What do you always say?" I said, "What did I say? I don't know." And he said, "You have to do your best. If you've done everything that you can do and you can control, you have to be in peace." He said, "Daddy, you've done it and you won it."
Wow. How was the night out?
Incredible. So I go there, almost everybody was there. I started to hug everybody, and the same emotion, when you feel that much joy. It was like these people, they've been hanging and restricting their emotions and feelings for so long. It's like opening that bottle and now everybody's like, "Wow!" And it was great. I mean, and to see the connection between the players and the staff is just, I never seen something like this. The players are incredible.
Is it one of them where you almost can't hug someone tight enough, like you're worried that you're crushing them a little bit, you know what I mean?
It was, and especially with the players and how they interact with us is different. And as well, in that moment, I just took my hat off and said, and I'm there with them, and making jokes, and they were having jokes with me and banter with me, and it's so good.
Yeah, so you laughed along and then went, you're not playing in the final. Anyway, look, we need to race through this season a little bit. You told a lovely story in your press conference about the start of the season. And as you said, because you've come second 3 times in a row, there is that stuff that you can say in a press conference in previous season, like we're building, we're growing. You started this season needing to win the league, essentially. It felt like in the transfer market, you bought players to win now. So how difficult, I mean, that's great, and it gives you obviously had a chance to win the league, you have won the league, but how much pressure and expectation was there at the start of the season?
A lot. It was different to any other year, I think, because it's building. And I mean, when you've done that and now you are, after 7 years not in Champions League, you are Champions League, nobody talks. We're in Champions League, is like granted. You are second, is granted. You are in the Champions League later stages, that's granted. Okay, so what else is then? Now you have to win it, or none of the things that we do are good enough, and we played that since day one. So we've done a lot of work in order to make sure that the players are present in the things that we can do now, to maintain an energy that is driven by inspiration, driven by trying to be the best version of ourselves, to be improving, not an obligation to win, otherwise we are a disaster. And all the staff and players, they've been great, and being present on the moment till we've done it.
There were really important moments. Well, it's certainly to be honest, from a media point of view, it felt like there were a lot of big moments early in the season. Obviously, you went to Liverpool straight away. How big does Gabriel Martinelli's equaliser against Man City feel now? And then the weekend of Newcastle, because if I'm right, you could have gone 8 points behind, and you ended that weekend, and you go to a team that's given you problems, and you end that Sunday night 2 points behind. So talk us through that part of the season.
There's so many moments. I think the one you just based with Newcastle, I think it was a huge one, because we already had the feeling if you lose there, and the way Liverpool was at the start of the season, it's going to be tough, and the pressure is going to build up, and it's going to be difficult. But then the team reacted, and it showed that resilience and that capacity to find ways. The biggest one, honestly, has been the capacity of this team to overcome difficulties, especially injuries. With the amount of big players that we had out for 5, 6, 7 months during a season, with the demands that we have more than ever in our history, to deliver what we've done is credit to everybody that has had a value that probably without that we couldn't achieve it.
How tough did it get with injuries, especially probably around the Carabao? Then you had that international break where everyone said that none of them are really injured. They obviously were. The Bournemouth game, I don't know if you would agree with this, feels probably like the only performance where you just didn't look like Arsenal. It didn't look like your team. So how difficult was that period with the injuries?
A lot, because we have to modify certain things that we do, or I would like to do, because we still have to become very, very competitive every 3 days, but with very different tools.
So you want to press more basically than you would, is that?
Yeah, that's one thing, and we wanted to play with the ball in different ways, or have different players with different chemistries, and to do all the kind of stuff. But that's the moment, say, okay, what is my job? My job is, with the resources that we have, given the best possible chance and increase the probability to win. And I said, if we continue to do this, we're not going to get there. Especially because I've been in the other camp, and I know how good they are. And they're going to push this to a limit that if we don't have another 2 or 3 ways to win games, we're not going to do it. And I think the ability has been there on reinventing yourself to find and give the players tools to win in different contexts. And that's been, I think, the theme this season with this club.
So when was crunch time then? Because it does almost feel like you've won this league 2 or 3 times. It looked like you were there, they reeled you in. It looked like you were there, they reeled you in. When did you have that moment where you're like, on this course, we're not going to win it? So, when were you most worried, I guess?
I had 2 moments. One before Christmas, when we had the front line with a lot of injuries, and then an international break in March. Because I said, with the players that are injured now, they might come back in 2 or 3 weeks, but they're going to be out 5 or 6 weeks, and that is going to pain the way we can perform every 3 days when the most crucial part of the season is. So we cannot rely only on these 4 players when they're back, because it's not going to reach the point. But the moment is For me, the biggest question mark is when we lost against Bournemouth at home, how we're going to react that. And then is throw the tactic balls away and say, Mikel, think about something else. And then I have to think about what is the message going to be. And I said, this team is all energy, so it has to go through the energy, through the emotion, and connect them to make sure that they feel that they are the best in the world. Because at the moment they don't feel that they are the best in the world. There is doubt and there's a question mark on them. So I said, okay, how do I do that? So do I bring somebody else? Do I bring an expert? And I've done it through music.
Okay.
Music is so powerful, and probably you will see maybe when everything finishes, creating moments with them. But before it happens in the dressing room, I think the celebration in the dressing room has to be before we win it. We need to feel before that we already won and we are the best, and try to create that theme.
So you did that, brought music into the changing room before the City game?
Yeah, but it was in different ways. We'll tell the story probably at some point, but the purpose was they have to feel that they are the best and they have the best next to them. And we need to achieve that. It doesn't matter what we do, find ways, we need to achieve that. Because if we do that, we're going to have a good chance. If we play with certain doubt, they're going to go, I want to be safe and I want to do that, and we're not going to get there.
Just before we finish, I want to fill in a couple of gaps. The first North London derby, obviously a great afternoon, evening for you guys. Eza gets his hat-trick. Do you think, was that the team in its best moment of the season? We look back, I know you beat Bayern around that time as well.
We had a period when everybody was fit and available through that period around October, that the team was flying and everything. We could beat any opponent, and you can throw us any kind of game. We were very happy to play any kind of game. We could change it, we can alter it, and the team was expressing in the best possible manner. And in terms of an idea of how I would love the team to play every day, I think it was around the time.
Did we see as well, have we seen with your team, although I think a lot of even opposition managers would say you've won it because you can do a lot of different things very well, but that classic thing, like attacks win games, defences win titles. In this key period, that little mini run-in you talked about that starts after the City game, if you include Champions League, you've just conceded that one penalty.
I think you don't have to be very smart. I thought, can we score 100 goals today with the resources that we have, the players they've been out, or the manner that we are performing? The answer is no. Can somebody score 35 goals? No. So how are we going to win 40-odd games to achieve what we want? And that's it. What is our biggest strength? This one, okay, we need to be the best of the world at doing this. And the other ones, we're going to have to be very close to be the best in the world, but we are not the best. So only with that, we're not going to do it. And make sure that the boys understand this is our biggest strength. And if we do that, the probability of winning the game is going to be so high.
And obviously that moment you shared with your family and then with the players the other night will live with you forever. Will West Ham in the last couple of minutes live with you forever as well? I mean, I wonder how many times Mateus Fernandes bearing down on goal has flashed through your head, and how many times you've heard back after review.
That's another thing. But then when I was going back, the titles that I won, there is always moments like this. And when I was at City and we won it 3 times in the last game, it's always been moments like this. And we discussed that many times, guys. It's going to be moments that we're going to need some of you to do something incredible. And it has happened, because it happens. It's a pattern that it happens in every championship winner. And we have that. So that save from David, or the block from Gavi, or the magic moment that Martin and Leo created against West Ham. I think that's what we need.
And when you think back on your journey, do you think about the kid leaving San Sebastian, the young boy leaving Spain, coming to Britain for the first time with Rangers? Do you think about the deadline day when you became a player here?
I think what I think is, I think the day that I was given the job here, without managing anybody else before, I think how brave ownership, especially George was, Edu and all the people in the board to make that decision. Then all the support that I had, and I'm not going to name them all, but there's a lot of people in that journey that have been instrumental to achieve what we have done today, and especially the players. And I got so many ex-players that they've been here with us feeling very happy and very part of the journey and the contribution to what we've done. And this is the biggest lesson. At the end, I've learned a lot. I had some incredible experiences throughout that period, and the biggest learning is that this belongs to the players.
Mikel Arteta, Premier League champion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done.